'Cause it's Freaky Friday. Okay, you guys already know I'm going to be doing my cleanse and pinning your comment for you while y'all get situated and come in. So welcome, welcome. Head on in, say hey in the chat. Let me know where you're joining from. And whatever else you want to share, zodiac sign, spirit, ancestors, guides, be with me, stay with me. Cleanse my space, my tools, body, mind, and spirit, so only truth may come through. So be it. Cause it's Freaky Friday. Live from the altar with G, who's here with me. Hey Dylan. Hey PP. Welcome back. All right, y'all, I'm just pinning the comment. My service has been a little wonky lately, so it's kind of taking its sweet time. I don't know what's going on with that. All right. Getting there, guys. It's Freaky Friday. Y'all got any special plans? All right, here we go. Not Verizon, actually. I have AT&T. I have had Verizon before, though, so it's funny. Eating pizza, watching Jacksonville Jaguars. Is that like football or something? Sorry, I'm not a sports girl. You have to forgive me. Okay. Well, that sounds pretty chill, though. Okay, football. Okay, guys. So that is pinned there for you. Should be able to see it. Yes, cool. Alrighty. So let's get into it. Ever feel like you're dating the same person in a different body? Like you've somehow found yourself in the exact same relationship, just with a different face, the same arguments, same emotional triggers, same abandonment issues, chasing, pulling away, heartbreak, whatever the case may be, different person. And you're sitting there thinking, haven't I already lived this? What if some of those patterns aren't random, y'all? What if you're caught in a cycle that keeps recreating itself until something changes? I remember we touched on it a little bit the other night about kind of like Groundhog Day, okay? So tonight we're going to get into one of my favorite Freaky Friday rabbit holes, okay? Which is a matrix topic. And if you've been following the channel for a while, I love talking about the matrix and deprogramming, okay? So is this love karmic? We're talking about karmic relationships, soul cycles, past life attachments, energetic debris, trauma patterns, shadow work, and the difference between a relationship that's challenging you to grow and one that's keeping you trapped in the same loop. And we're going to talk about how you actually get out of the cycle too, because spiritual growth is not supposed to mean suffering indefinitely. So, welcome back, my loves. Welcome if you're new to the sanctuary. It is Freaky Friday. So, tonight we're going there, okay? The other day we did some past life readings, and a lot of you had karmic ties, okay? And we talked about cord cutting and all that. It's been a theme. So, let's get into it. Now, stay with me because we are going to pull charms, cards, and get into your questions as well, of course. And we're talking about relationships, karma, soul cycles, the matrix, and those connections that make you look around and be like, why does this feel so familiar? Is this deja vu? Why does this person feel like I've known them forever? Why am I reacting like this? Why does this relationship seem to push every single button I have? And more importantly, is this actually love, or am I caught in a karmic loop? Because sometimes you think it's a soulmate or a twin flame, and actually it's a karmic connection. Okay. As always, take what resonates, leave whatever doesn't, and use your own discernment. You are your best guide. I'm sharing the truth the spirit has shown me and my own lived experiences with y'all. Okay. Hoping that it will help you. So, we're looking at this through a spiritual lens, of course. So, we're going to explore karmic relationships and all that good stuff. So, not going to do anything medical or legal because it's YouTubey, all right? And always remember that you do have free will. So, before we get into it, make sure you're hitting the like button for me, double tap the screen, subscribe if you're new, make sure all your notifications are on because I don't always schedule the live. Sometimes I just pop on like I did today. All right. And I'm pretty much live throughout the week, but every day kind of has its own little flavor. So tonight just happens to be the day that we're going to go through a different weird little door. All right, let me pop in and look at our chat just for a second. All right, cool. So if you are just joining, feel free to say hey in the chat. Let me know where you're joining from, your zodiac sign, should you feel called for my own entertainment. All right, so let's talk about what I mean when I say a matrix glitch. Now, who's seen the movie or movies, should I say? Let me know in the chat or comments if you're watching the replay. Have you seen the Matrix movie? Yes, the Keanu Reeves ones. So let's talk about this. So imagine, and that's not what I mean by Matrix, but when they talk about glitches and deja vu and stuff in the movie, so it's kind of a cool, little reference for those who have seen it. It kind of gives you a little bit of a window into what I'm talking about. But by the matrix, I mean kind of our earthly world and all the programming we live in, okay? So imagine you keep experiencing the same relationship dynamic over and over. Now, this can happen in non-romantic relationships as well, okay? With friends and coworkers, anybody can be a karmic connection. But maybe you keep attracting emotionally unavailable people into your life, or maybe you keep becoming the caretaker to people, or you're always the one chasing. Some people are always the one leaving, right? And maybe you keep finding someone who starts off really intensely passionate and then suddenly pulls away from you. Maybe you keep ending up in these relationships where you're trying to save someone. Or maybe you keep becoming the person who needs to be saved. The faces change, the circumstances change, but the emotional pattern is almost identical. And that is the glitch I'm talking about. And that deja vu feeling can be a really interesting clue. Okay. A clue. Because sometimes the overwhelming familiarity that we feel can make you stop and ask, what exactly feels familiar here? Is it the person? Is it the pattern? It's a very different question, right? And where we're going to get deeper with it is sometimes your relationship struggles may not be entirely about the person standing in front of you. There can be layers underneath the current relationship, past experiences, unresolved wounds, trauma, subconscious patterns. And from a spiritual perspective, possible past life attachments or soul contracts. We touched on this a little bit the other night, right? And I have plenty of videos on the topic too, if you guys want to check those out. But we're doing it live tonight. So sometimes we enter a relationship and we immediately feel like we've known the person before, right? I can't explain this connection. I feel magnetically pulled towards you. I feel like I can't leave. I feel like this person's my destiny. I feel like I can't live without them. And sometimes that intensity and that familiar feeling is meaningful, of course. But here's where discernment becomes extremely important. And I talk to you guys about this because I've lived it, okay? Intensity does not automatically equal destiny. And suffering does not automatically equal spiritual significance. Okay. A relationship can feel incredibly powerful and still be unhealthy. And a karmic connection doesn't mean you're obligated to stay in it. Okay. So if you're already thinking about somebody while I'm talking about this, definitely let me know in the chat. And of course, hit the like button because I have a feeling tonight's conversation is going to resonate with a few people. We won't name any names. And my diffuser just went off, so the energy is already strong, you guys. Okay, so let's talk about 3 common relationship glitches. All right, 3 patterns I see over and over. And the biggest questions y'all have in our free yes no questions are about relationships. So I know y'all want to hear this. Okay, the first one is the savior loop. Okay, you meet someone who needs fixing, or so you think. You see their potential, you understand their wounds, their trauma, you make excuses for their behavior, and you keep thinking if they would just heal, if they would just realize who they are, if they would just see themselves the way I see them, if they would just get through this. And eventually you're carrying a relationship that 2 people were supposed to be carrying all on your own. The second one is the abandonment loop. You desperately want connection, but the moment someone gets close, fear activates. You chase, they pull away, they come back, you calm down. Then something triggers you again, and the entire relationship becomes this cycle of activation and reassurance. And third, the familiar pain loop. This one's sneaky. You don't necessarily choose someone who looks like your past. That's not what I'm saying. But you choose someone who makes you feel something your nervous system already knows. Chaos can feel like chemistry when chaos is what you're familiar with. Uncertainty can feel like passion. And emotional, let's call it volatility, can feel like depth. And sometimes what feels like an incredible connection is actually an incredibly familiar wound. Something we also call trauma bonding in psychology. Okay. So here's the question. What is actually triggering the loop? Because the person may be the trigger, but the wound is where the reaction lives. Is this abandonment, rejection, betrayal, being unseen, feeling unworthy, fear of being alone, fear of losing control, fear that you don't take care of everything, everything will fall apart? These wounds can become magnets for repetitive patterns. Remember, we were talking about law of attraction the other night, okay? And then the subconscious does something fascinating. It tries to solve the wound by recreating the circumstances. I'm going to say that again. Your subconscious tries to solve the old wound by recreating the familiar circumstances. Kind of like this. Maybe if I get this person to love me this time, I'll finally prove I'm worthy. Maybe if I save this person, I'll finally prove I'm valuable. Maybe if I don't leave this time, I won't be abandoned. Maybe if I control everything, I won't be betrayed. But you're trying to solve yesterday's wound with today's relationship. And that's where the loop keeps feeding itself. And you've probably seen it even when you're watching other people's relationships. How some people carry one past trauma into the next, and then the next person pays for it, so to speak, right? So, where I want everybody to use their own discernment, of course. Not every difficult relationship necessarily is karmic. Healthy relationships challenge you as well. Relationships always take effort, okay? They can bring up your wounds. They can force you to communicate, expose things you need to work on. That's part of intimacy. All right. But there is a difference between a relationship that challenges you to grow and a relationship that repeatedly destroys your peace. A healthy challenge can move you toward greater self awareness, communication, accountability, and connection, right? A destructive one keeps demanding the same sacrifice while producing the same wound. And that's the distinction I want you to really look at. So, not necessarily, is this person my soulmate, but who am I becoming in this relationship? That's a much more powerful question. Who am I becoming in this relationship? And this is where shadow work comes in too. Okay. Because sometimes we want to blame the karmic partner for the entire cycle. And that's not what we're about here. Okay. We're not about the blame game. But if we're really going to reclaim our sovereignty, we have to look at our side too. What am I participating in? What am I tolerating? What am I projecting? What am I afraid to admit? Where am I abandoning myself? Where am I giving somebody access to me that they have not earned? Where am I confusing attachment with love? Where am I repeating something because it's familiar? And this is something we can go much deeper into on Sunday for Shadow Work Sunday, of course, because identifying that loop is one thing, but understanding why you're magnetized, why you're attracted to it is a whole nother one. Okay. We won't go down that rabbit hole today, but we will on Sunday. So stay tuned. So, how do we start breaking this freaking cycle? First, recognize the pattern. You can't change a loop you haven't identified. Okay. And I told you how to do that with those questions. Second, identify the trigger. What happens right before you go into the old response? Third, interrupt the automatic reaction. Remember, we want to respond and not react. And this can be so incredibly difficult, y'all. Okay. And we all fall into it at times. Instead of immediately chasing, withdrawing, rescuing, exploding, or shutting down or trying to control the situation, pause. Okay. And fourth, ask what belongs to the present and what belongs to the past. Is this person actually doing something right now, or is an old wound responding to something that reminds you of the past? And that's key, okay? Because a lot of times it is our past calling us back. And fifth, choose from sovereignty instead of fear. Remember, we talked about not acting in fear. So, not what will make this person stay, but what is actually aligned with me. So, from a spiritual perspective, sometimes we may experience relationships as soul contracts. A connection can teach us something, okay? It can activate something, it can bring something to the surface. And sometimes the lesson is not stay, sometimes the lesson is learn. Sometimes the contract is fulfilled when you finally stop repeating the freaking pattern. You don't have to keep suffering to prove that a connection was spiritually significant. You don't have to stay attached to someone because you believe you knew them in another lifetime. That's not at all what I'm saying, so don't get me wrong. And you don't owe a past life connection your present life. Again, you don't owe a past life connection your present life, okay? And if that hit you, make sure you hit the like button for me or double tap the screen if you're here live. And again, if you're new here, subscribe, turn on your notifications. We're just getting started with Freaky Friday. Okay, so let me catch up in the chat real quick. Hi, Harsh. India, nice. Hi, EQ. Hi, Sand. Thank you for the sub. Confirmation. My fur baby says thank you too. Hi, AS. Thank you, PP. Yes, double tap. Yes, it is going to be a tarot reading. You probably missed the beginning. We're going to get into it. So, because the goal isn't simply to identify the karmic loop, the goal is to eventually become unavailable for the pattern, right? So, imagine what happens when your baseline for love changes, when chaos no longer feels like chemistry, when chasing no longer feels like devotion, and rescuing no longer feels like the purpose. And uncertainty no longer feels exciting to you. When you finally stop asking, why won't they choose me? And start asking, why am I choosing this? That's where sovereignty begins. And that's where the emotional release begins. And that's where spiritual alignment starts looking very different from what you may have been taught. Okay, loves. So we're going to get into our free live tarot. Of course, we're going to do our charms first, per usual. Then I'm going to pull for the collective, and then I will get into your yes no questions. So you can go ahead and start the queue. I think we already have the queue going while I was talking, so that's good. So again, one free yes no question per person to keep it fair. Make sure it is something that can be answered yes or no, nothing medical or legal. If you want to go deeper, that's where the tip comes in, and I'll spend more time with your question and pull additional cards. So, right here on my card is the info. It's also pinned in the chat for your convenience, okay, so that you can actually click it. So, we're going to go ahead and pull some charms first. Might need a little light for this part. And we will be using our pendulum again. All right, so we got the letter K. Oh, we are talking about karmic love. And then we also got a pink 2, pink for love, 2 for partnership. Oh, that makes sense. And then we also got a 9. This can go in any order, but maybe 2, 9, 29, K29. This could be an apartment number, a birthday, a lot of different things, okay? And 9 is for release. And I literally was just talking about that. So, yeah. So, karmic love and partnerships and release. That's perfect for what we're talking about today, y'all. Okay, so I'm going to do 3 polls to see what's the pattern, what's the lesson, and what needs to be released or understood for the collective. And I say 3 polls because we might get more than 3 cards. That's just how it goes. What's the pattern spirit? What is the lesson spirit? So if you're just joining, feel free to put your yes no question in the chat. Everyone gets 1 free yes no question. If you want more questions or want to go deeper with the reading, then you can just buy me a coffee, Ko-Fi, or Cash App. All the information is pinned in the chat. Ooh, I told you we might get more than that. All right. And what needs to be released or understood, Spirit? All right. Let's see what's going on with the collective. And then we'll get into your yes, no questions. All right. So for our first here, we got 13, which is 4, and it's mirror effect. When I asked what is the pattern, this makes sense because it's karmic, right? So 4 is stability, foundation, protection. Okay. But with this being the mirror effect here, I'll put it closer so you guys can see. So that is the pattern. Okay. So maybe we are projecting or getting triggered because the person we are with is like our mirror. Okay. So that is the pattern. Then for the next question, we got 3 cards, and the last one we got 1. So what is the lesson? And we got 2. And again, we got 2 up here. So partnership, and it says help. Ooh, okay. And then we got a 40, which again is 4. And again, that's stability, foundation, protection. Okay. And it says message of forgiveness. I'm going to put this all together for you guys too. And repression, 22. Now, in numerology, for 22, we don't reduce because this is a master number. It's actually a master builder number. So this is beyond manifestation. This is divine legacy. Okay. So we'll get into this. And then lastly, I asked what needs to be released and understood. We got 18, which is 9 for release. And we got the 9 over here. And it's loss. This makes complete sense. It puts the puzzle together, y'all. Okay. So the collective right now as a whole is dealing with this. So you're getting a lot of projections, a lot of triggered because this person is a mirror for you. So they are meant to bring about change for you. And the lesson here is that it is going to help your partnership if you are able to forgive. Okay. Not repress the past, not repress your emotions and your feelings, but through forgiveness. Okay. And that's where your protection lies in this partnership. And when I asked what needs to be released or understood, it's the loss. Okay. We need to, and 9, so release. We need to release the loss. We need to release the grief. All right. And this has to do with the past. Okay. So this is big for the collective. Let me know if this is resonating with you in the chat or the comments if you're watching the replay. Okay, loves. Now we will get into your love lives. And I do have our love deck ready, the moon deck here, or oracle deck here, and the tarot deck. Okay. And I did pull, this theme was waiting for us today, clarity. So that's why I have that there for us, because that's what we're wanting is clarity. Right. So again, 1 free yes, no question per person. Make sure it's something that can genuinely be answered, yes or no. And if you want to go deeper, that's where your tip comes in. I'll spend more time with you and your cards. And all that information is pinned in the chat for your convenience. It's also on my card here. And if you do tip, make sure you let me know on which platform. And if you're just joining, we've been talking about karmic love, karmic loops, cycles, relationship patterns, how to recognize them, and how to change it. All right, so let's get into the queue. I'm going to write you all down. See who's first. Okay. Harsh looks like it. Okay, so EQ will be first. Does Ellie want to get back together with Emma? Oh, EQ. I want to know what is so great about this Allie person. Because we're talking about karmic love. Okay, does Allie want to get back together with Emma? All right, so EQ will go first. Sand, if you want to, that's an open-ended question. So if you want to turn it into a yes/no question, or you can send the tip and I will answer it as is. And just so you guys know, you only have to put it once. Unless I get through the queue and didn't get you, then you can remind me. But ASL, did you have a question? Dylan, was it Steven? Okay, then Dylan. Was it Steven? Old job. Okay. Hi, Kush. Kush Pal. Cool handle. Yeah, Dylan, 9 again. New sub. Thank you. Yes, you can, Kush. Does Rudy want Kush? Okay, I see your question. Does it just to contact her? All right. Okay. And Hendo, hey, welcome back. I'm so curious about these recordings, Hendo. All right, so we've got EQ, Dylan, Kush, and Hendo so far. I'm still going through. Hi, twin. Hi, Sri. Thank you for the sub. Thank you for the detail. Will a reunion happen? Okay, with Sri and Isha. Got your question too, twin. Can I expect an honest confession? Apology from this person. Okay. Cool, Dylan. Thank you. Oh, twin. I'm sorry to hear that. Hey, Fernandez. Welcome. Thank you for the detail. Okay, if in case you didn't think so. And you are Maria. Maria. You want to know if Casio thinks about you? Okay. All right. So we've got EQ, Dylan, and Dylan's going to go to the top because he did tip. So Dylan, you'll be number one. So we'll do Dylan, EQ, Kush, Hindo, Sri, Twin, and Maria. If I missed you, you may have needed to reword your question or tip, either way. And if I didn't mention you at all, then definitely let me know in the chat. Okay. And if you do tip, just let me know on which platform. Dylan, I already saw yours. All right. So, Dylan, was it Steven from your old job that told people at your new job? Let's see. Did Steven from Dylan's old job tell people at his new job why he got fired? Okay, we got little circles to start off. Okay, pendulum's saying possibly. I'm going to go to the yes no deck. And then we'll pull some more cards and see what's up going. Because possibly ain't going to cut it for us tonight, is it? And thank you again, Dylan, for being a regular. I appreciate you. Okay, so was it Stephen at Dylan's old job that told people at his new job about why he got fired? We got yes if you truly think so, no if you are attempting to deceive. Interesting. And 7 of spades. So spades is air or swords energy, but it's thought, conflict. It can also be truth, truth and protection. And then it being a 7, that's about, like wisdom. Can also be money and luck. I don't think you're trying to deceive. So yes, if you truly think so. That's interesting. Let's see what else comes out. Yeah, I'm gonna pull tarot on it first, and then let's see. Oh, we got the Eight of Swords. Yeah, so it's interesting because swords, remember I said spades is swords in tarot. And look, you got 7, 8 in order. Okay. Um, yeah, so air energy could be an air sign, but doesn't have to be. But the fact they're getting swords here is to me kind of confirmation because, when do we need a sword, right? And but you see here too that she looks fine here, but her reflection, her hands are tied, she's blindfolded, there's crows kind of pulling the strings. So it's kind of like I mean, that scenario that you gave of someone at your old job telling people at your new job about what happened, that is kind of like your hands are tied. What do you do in that situation? And you're kind of blindsided, right? And someone else is kind of trying to pull the strings. So this makes sense. Okay, but you're protected. Yeah, and you got the job anyway, so that makes sense. And again, swords here, okay? So you're protected against these swords or darts or whatever they're trying to throw at you. There's a little heart here with a string tied to it. Um, and you're in this nest. Yeah. See if we can get any more info here. Whether or not it was Stephen. Do you came out. And this said, yes, if you truly think so. So maybe it's asking what you really feel here. Or I would guess you suspect him because you're asking that. Ooh, ooh. Oh, I can't. Panda? That might mean something to you. Channeled messages. Hmm. Yeah, I definitely feel like someone, like there was some sort of, in front of me got the clarity. There was some sort of like someone trying to sabotage here. Like I can definitely feel that energy. Steven, goodness. Social media is a tool. 411 coming. Yeah, information's coming in. Wow, okay. So it might be some, and we'll go with the yes if you really think so. Seven of Diamonds was on the top of the deck that said, maybe, are you ready? Oh, you know what? You know what I'm getting, Dylan? I don't think it was just him. I don't know if this could have been multiple people or if maybe he shared it and then that person went and told someone that mattered. But there's, yeah, and it could be the social media thing, but this is feeling more like a group effort, like two or more people. Okay, let me catch up in the chat. I understand, twin. You're welcome. Oh, I'm just seeing your comment, Dylan, that there's two possible people. Her name starts with C. I did see C. Oh, and she's head of HR. Yeah, okay, this is making sense. Mm-hmm. That makes sense, Dylan. Wow. And the wow is that you still got the job anyway. Let's pull from our success deck over here. Yeah, and twin, I'm going to come back to some of the stuff that you were saying in the chat besides your question because I want to touch on that. But for Dylan's spirit. Yeah, there's a block. See? Yeah, someone was trying to block you for sure. Oh, and look, we got your passion turned into a business, new skill, knowledge, or career. Yeah, and you just got the new job. Yeah, so you might even turn this like into your own side of business, like business or consultation service or something, consulting business. Like I can't talk today. Um yeah, or like a maybe this will be what you feel like is your calling later, like full-blown career. Yeah, somebody definitely tried something here. That's crazy, Dylan. Well, I'm glad you still got it anyway. Oh, okay. Well, that was good, Dylan. That does make sense. I got you on the list, Hendo. Okay, that makes sense, Don. Okay, so on the list we have EQ, then Kush, then Hendo, then Sri, then Twin, and then Maria. Okay. Now, if anything's changed, if anybody has tipped in the meantime, let me know on what platform, and I can bump you up, just as I did with Dylan. Or if I answer your question and you have a follow up question and you want to go deeper with it, same thing. You can just submit the tip, and we'll continue with it. Okay, so EQ, does Allie want to get back together with Emma? Does Allie want to get back together with Emma? No. Saying no, Allie does not want to get back together with Emma. Let me know if you want to go deeper. Okay, Kush, does Reedy, I might be saying that wrong, I apologize if I say any names wrong, want Kush to contact her to fix things? Does Reedy want Kush to contact her to fix things, Spirit? Oh, right away, yes. Yes, Kush. Let me know if you want to go deeper. Okay, Hindo. Are you going to tell us what's on the recordings? No, you don't have to. I'm just so curious about these recordings. Okay. Will you get the recordings back from Muhammad? Will Hindo get the recordings Back from Muhammad spirit. Whoa, that jumped. You got circles. Oh, I'm picking up on something here, Ando. Yeah, it's saying check again. As it was going in circles, Hindo, um, I was getting that they're still going on. So I don't know, there's some sort of surveillance energy here. I don't know what this is. And then it said check again. So there's something going on there. Let me know if you want to go deeper. I don't know if they're still recording, you're still making it. I don't know what that is. Okay, Sri. Will Sri and Isha reunite? Spirit. Sri and Isha reunite. Yes, a light yes, but a yes nonetheless for Sri. Let me know if you want to go deeper. Okay, twin. Yeah, so I wanted to touch on this, and I'm so sorry that you're going through this, and I completely understand how you're saying like they've all been karmic. And hopefully you caught some of what I was talking about. If not, definitely feel free if you feel called to go back and listen to the rest of it. But this is exactly why I did this. And I've done other videos on karmic ties and stuff. But if you feel like this keeps happening, and even your question here, um this may, you might need some cord cutting, a cleanse, something deeper going on here. Definitely some shadow work. I help with all of that if you feel called. Sanctuary444.com, or you can email me. My email is on YouTube in my bio, if you're not sure what you need, and I can kind of guide you in the right direction. And I also do spiritual advising, coaching, whatever name you want to put on it. And there are different payment options, payment plans as well. So take a look at that, you guys, because what are we without love, right? I mean, everybody has some sort of love in their life, whether it be your pets, your family, your friends, your passion, your hobby, whatever it is, there's, love in some form or another. And it's huge, and love is the like purest frequency that we can vibrate at. So it's extremely important to your life. Okay. So somebody needed to hear that. So, twin, can you expect an honest confession slash apology soon? Can twin expect an honest confession and or apology soon, spirit? It's a little shaky. It's going towards possibly twin, and it was a little shaky while I was asking. So, and that makes sense because of the other stuff that you're saying. And I think maybe the better question, for lack of better terminology, the deeper question is, you can always accept someone's apology, confession, whatever it is. It doesn't necessarily mean allowing it back into your life. So I think that's like the bigger question. Okay. So now we'll get to Maria. I'll catch up real quick in the chat. Oh, I understand. I understand, twin. Me too. On the empath part. That's great, Dylan. Okay, Sonia, I will add you. Yeah, definitely check it out, twin, and you are welcome. Love is so important. Yes, yes. Agreed. Okay. So, Maria, does Acacio think about you? Does Acacio think about Maria's spirit? And for some reason, I am ambidextrous, but I'm wanting to do this with my left hand. So, yes. Yes, Maria, he does think of you. Oh, and it's even pointing to M. I don't know if you can see that. Yes, he's got M on the brain. You're welcome, twin. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, and we also got Sonia. Will Ender stay loyal once committed? Okay. All right. So for Sonia, will Ender stay loyal once committed? Ender stay loyal once committed to Sonia spirit. It was like going towards yes and then started spinning. Now it's spinning. Oh, I'm hearing all the days of our lives. You know, like that old. I only saw it on like the repeats back in the day. That soap opera, Days of Our Lives, that would come on. Like I'm hearing that. So I don't know if your life is like a soap opera or if they're saying he'll be loyal to you all the days of your lives. I don't know. Let's see. Yes. Okay, that's confirmation. Yes, Ender will be loyal once he commits, Sonia. With the key being once he commits. If you're just joining us, welcome, welcome. Tonight we're talking about karmic love. So loops, soul cycles, relationship patterns, how to recognize it, and how to break the pattern. So we're doing our free yes, no polls now. So if you have one, let me know in the chat. One free yes, no question per person to keep it fair unless you tip. Then you can ask multiple questions or I can bump you up the line. And or if you want to ask follow-up questions or have an open-ended question. If you're doing the yes, no, make sure it's something that can genuinely be answered yes or no. Of course, if you want to go deeper, that's where the tip comes in. It's pinned in the chat there for your convenience. You're welcome, Maria. I'm so glad. You're welcome, Sonia. All right, so let's see for the collective. Let's pull from the love deck and see what's going on. And how are we on? Oh, just about at the hour. Okay, doing good on our time too, y'all. Yeah, so before we close out or anything, I want you guys to think about something. So, what relationship pattern have you experienced more than once? So, kind of what I was just talking about with twin. Maybe not necessarily the same person, but the same pattern. You know, maybe, like I said, it's always being the giver. Maybe it's always choosing someone who's unavailable, either physically, emotionally, um, marriage just popped out. Maybe you have a pattern of being with people that are in other relationships. I mean, I don't know, and absolutely no judgment here. Maybe it's always being afraid to leave or feeling like you need to earn someone's love, save someone, all these things that we talked about. So just notice it. The first step is noticing it. Um, they say that in a lot of things, even in like AA groups and things like that. Um, they say, what is it? Admitting you have a problem is the first step, right? Not that you're the problem, but noticing your own patterns is definitely a good first step. Okay. And you don't have to solve everything in one night. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. If you know, you know. So awareness, like I said, is where it starts. It's where the pattern becomes visible. You can map it out. That's where I highly encourage journaling. Okay. And once you can see that loop, then you can start deciding whether you want to keep going. You want to keep playing in the maze, or do you want to break the cycle? Right. Hi, Ria. Welcome. Is Sony happy? Okay. Just in time. We just finished the queue. So you will go next. Is Sony happy with Anuja? Sorry if I'm not getting that right. Could be Anuja. Okay, so let's see. Is Sony happy with Anuja spirit? Yes. Pretty decent yes there. Yeah, Sony's happy with Anuja, Ria. And let me know if anybody wants to go deeper. You're welcome. If you're just joining, we are doing free yes no polls. Well, not technically a poll, 'cause we're using our pendulum. My candle went out too, y'all. So we're talking about karmic love, but you can ask anything as long as it's not medical or legal. And we just finished the queue, so if you pop in now, you will be first on the list for your yes no questions. Once again, everyone gets one free yes or no to keep it fair. You can ask additional questions if you submit a tip. All the info is pinned in the chat for you. Or if you want to follow up after you get your answer, you can do that too. Hi, Bod. Oh, is it? Oh, body in motion, Bodhi in motion. If it's Bodhi, that reminds me of oh my gosh, I'm having a brain freeze moment. I can't. Point Break, one of my favorite movies. Bodhi. Have you seen it? It's probably Body in Motion, but we'll stand reconnect you. Okay. Or maybe your name's Bodhi and your business is Bodhi in Motion, like Body in Motion. We'll stand reconnect. All right, let's see. We'll stand reconnect with Bodhi spirit. Oh, it jumped right out. It was heading towards no and then started doing circles. Will Stan reconnect with Bodhi's spirit? Now it's going towards yes. So, yes, maybe it didn't look or feel like it at first, but yes, Stan's going to reconnect with Bodhi. Why am I seeing a cross? There's something about a cross here. Maybe a crossroads? Or maybe you're religious? I don't know. Let me know if you want to go deeper. Kush, I already answered your question. You must have missed it. You can, if you go back and rewatch, you'll see it. You were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 8 people ago. You're welcome, Bodhi. Again, if you're just joining, we are doing our free yes no questions. Just finished the queue, so you'll be first on the list if you have one. If you have more than one question, you can ask the first one for free and then tip and ask your other questions. Or if you want to go into a deeper reading, you can do that as well. Otherwise, I'll probably go into our affirmations here in a minute. Hi, Sky. Oh, welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining. Yes, you can ask anything as long as it's not legal or medical. Oh, funny. Chris came out in a reading I did the other day. You're welcome. Thanks for joining. Okay, do you see the connection with Chris resolving in a positive way? Oh, interesting. Let's ask the pendulum. Do you see the connection with Chris resolving in a positive way? Okay. Let's see. Will the connection between Sky and Chris resolve in a positive way, Spirit? All right, we're getting little circles at first. Yes, Sky, I'm getting yes. And so when I get the when it goes in a little circle before, then there might be a little bit of like back and forth or negotiation first. It wasn't when it's like a big circle or it goes around and around and around a lot. That's like more. Yours was just a little bit, so it might take a little bit of work. But the answer is yes. And let me know if you want to go deeper. You said cool beans. Oh, I love it. I always say cool beans. Not a lot of people get that one. Oh, yep. See? Go with your gut. You're welcome. I say it all the time too. Love it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, make sure your notifications are on. I don't always schedule in advance. I just usually pop on. So thank you so much. Oh, thank you. I wish you a prosperous evening. Yeah, you like the jellyfish? Thank you. I appreciate it so much. We are almost at 1,000 subscribers, y'all. Our community's growing. The sanctuary is growing. Thank you. Yeah. I know. I have so many other things. Like, I want to put all the things on my altar, but it's like such a small screen. It's like, how do you? But yeah, the jellyfish are super cool. And people are always asking me if they're real, which they're not, which would be totally cool, but also kind of sad. So it's good that they're not. But yeah, the meaning is there. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you, thank you. Hugs, hugs. I used to have this really cool. I mean, I still have the painting, but it's like kind of the profile of a woman with like feathers and everything. And that one was kind of my background for a while. I really liked it, but this one's like so much more colorful. So I kind of wanted that pop of color. I have tons of skulls and different little statues too, which are cool. Um, I know. I want to put all the things, but okay, guys. If nobody has any other questions, I'm gonna pull some affirmations and we will close out. One more card. You guys got one more card? Okay. For the collective spirit. Oh. All right. Oh, reproach. 25, which is 7. What's with all the sevens, y'all? Okay. Luck and money and okay. I think maybe y'all are starting to work hard on this manifesting. We were just talking about this the other night, right? Law of attraction, manifesting. Don't work too hard now. Make sure you're taking care of yourself and resting too, okay? Remember, don't grind a line. All right, let's see. Hey, Lizzie. Welcome back. If you're just joining, we just finished the yes no queue. So if you do have a last minute yes no question you want to pop in, go ahead. You'll be first in line. And if you have deeper questions, other questions, you can ask anything. It doesn't have to be love. So I'm glad you asked that, Sky. Anything other than medical or legal. Okay. We just happen to be kind of talking about karmic love. I like to have a little theme going, especially for those watching the replay, for those who couldn't be live. So it doesn't have to be a love question. Everyone gets one free yes, no. And if you have more questions, you can submit the tip, let me know where, and we'll answer those. You're welcome. Oh, okay. You left in your father's will. All right, let's ask for Lizzie. Okay, was Lizzie left in her father's will, spirit? Ooh, a lot of movement here. Yes, you were, Lizzie. It's also really pointing towards Cancer. Now, that could be the sign, zodiac sign, or it could be for those months. So, like June, July months. Let me know if you want to go deeper. guys, we're going to pull some affirmations. Let's see what comes out. I'm hearing Manic Monday, that old song. You're welcome, Lizzie. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. That's not cool. I don't like it when that happens with families. Someone passes and it just all becomes about the will and the things, and people just don't treat each other right. Like, it's unfortunate because we all know the person who passed wouldn't want it to be that way, right? And again, I am sorry for your loss, Lizzie. Okay, so these three fell out for y'all. I am confident, grateful, I am blessed. Oh, I can imagine, Lizzie. I'm so sorry. You're welcome. Thanks for being here despite going through all of that. Okay, so Spirit wants y'all to know and remember and affirm I am confident, I am grateful, I am blessed. Those three go so well together, don't they? And check out my Affirm It With Me series of shorts. I will put that in the description as well once I get done with this. And again, check out the site if you guys want to book a one-on-one with me, if you want a private reading, if you're interested in anything I was talking about today, if you want to go deeper, sanctuary444.com. It is on my bio as well, the link to it. And you can just click and go right to the site. You can also email me if you're not sure what you need, but you want to connect. Then feel free to do that as well. My email is also in my bio here on YouTube. We are almost at 1,000 subscribers, y'all. So keep subscribing. Our community is growing. I'm so excited. Good, good. Yes, affirm it. I am confident. I am grateful. I am blessed. Don't you forget it, guys. Don't you forget it. Thank you so much for each and every one of you beautiful souls that joined me and those watching the replay that couldn't be live. I appreciate all of you and all of your support in every way that it comes in. I am super grateful and blessed for all of you guys. All right. Join me tomorrow. We'll be doing some more tarot, some more polls. Remember to have your notifications on because I don't always schedule it. I haven't been scheduling lately, just kind of popping on. All right. And it's not always at the exact same time. So that way you can find me. Until next time, y'all, have a good night. And I'm sending you light, love, and healing. And I hope this helped. Thank you.